Some of the smartest people in this world that I know are police officers. You think it easy to do investigations? Or you think it easy to put a case before the court, especially when you have so much people against you? Jamaicans have this mentality where them don't support the police. Or you think it easy? Let me tell you something, people. Jamaica is one of the toughest places to be a police officer because of men like Mr. Buchanan.
What you have to say for yourself?
What's for dinner? What's going on here? What's that stink?
What's this for?
What time is it? What's that?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Hey my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, Watson's World. And you don't know the things set, you know. If this is your first time visiting this channel, guys, remember to click on the subscription button. Go ahead and click on it right now. Also, guys, don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Noble Cop. I had planned to do a different video this evening, right? Give you one of my many stories, but I just saw an article in the Jamaica Observer which diverted me. I decided that, you know what, I have to respond to this article because I feel like as an ex-police officer, this is an article which also offends me severely, people. And I won't even waste any time. I am going to read a part of this article for you guys, and also I'm going to share some responses from some of the viewers of this article, for some of the persons who have read this article. So I feel like I could have just cussed out this individual, right? Cuss them out really bad. But when I read some of the responses of Jamaicans, I felt a little better, and I figured that I will be decent about responding to this article after I read some of the responses, guys. So without further ado, guys, let me get right into the article. And it says, Chairman of the Police Officers Association, Senior Superintendent Wayne Cameron is angry about recent comments made by Attorney at Law Isat Buchanan, in which he labeled police officers as uneducated with 5 CXC subjects. Now, people, when I read that headline, me start burn up. I felt so annoyed, people, that when I decided to do this video, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to really cuss out this brother and make people know who this man is. But I didn't have to do that because, as I said, some of the persons who commented on the article done him. As would have said in a Jamaica, done him. Fitness Train 1 said, how rude and incredibly disrespectful to the people who are putting their lives on the line. I'm telling you, when Jamaicans have a degree, subject or letters behind their names, they believe they have arrived and can now look down on everybody else. These accomplishments are only a start and do not guarantee success. Many degrees are in the cemetery, and there are many broke people with degrees. We all make different career choices based on degree, skill, interest, or whatever. The most important thing is that you are being useful and productive in your calling. These braggadocious types are just insecure people who need to remind people that they are educated so they feel they have some value, but they need to learn respect. Another person says, Claire McCam says, a lot of police officers have law degree, management degree, and so on. He could have said something else. Stop demeaning people. Only Jamaicans hype about different degrees affixed to their names. Some are offended if you don't say doctor. Help me big up bright people, them hard-working officers. So big up to Claire for that. Awesome Allison 876 says, yet him with 50 subjects and a law degree, go a foreign, go peddle drugs, and go to prison for how much years and get deported. Is that your education tell you Fido? Sir, have several seats, bright and forward. So there you have it, people. Our own Jamaican people coming to the rescue of our police officers. So the article continues by saying, guys, the comments were made on a recent broadcast of Radio Jamaica's evening current affairs show Beyond the Headlines, which explored the issue of the government's ability to indefinitely detain people during the state of emergency pursuant to Section 33 of the Emergency Powers Act. The discussion was in relation to a case before the Supreme Court relating to 5 men detained under the state of emergency detention orders signed by the Minister of National Security. During the radio interview, Buchanan, who forms part of the legal team representing the men, asserted that the Emergency Powers Act is in breach of the Constitution and the Minister of National Security was acting on the whim of uneducated police officers with their 5 CXC subjects. I will read what one police officer responded saying, which I completely agree with, guys. Completely agree with this statement. The police officer is SSP Cameron. And this is what he said, guys. And let me just say this. This is a perfect response. He said, no convicted felon has the moral authority to refer to the police as uneducated. What is that telling you, guys? This so-called attorney, right, that made this statement is a convicted felon. Cameron said in reference to Buchanan's 1996 drug case in Jamaica, which was expunged, and his subsequent 1999 drug conviction in the US, which saw him spending 10 years behind bars. SSP Cameron added that despite Buchanan's comment, any police officer can choose to attend law school. And he's absolutely right. I know of hundreds of police officers who are pursuing their law degrees. And I know of countless police officers who are no lawyers. We're talking about from the rank of constable right up to the executive rank. Anybody can be a lawyer nowadays. No, I'm not disrespecting the profession. But there's no doubt that our education system has made provision for persons who are qualified to become lawyers. And it's not like one time where only the rich man could have go law school. Anybody can go law school nowadays. You know, when people come up to me and say, boy, Mr. Watson, you're one of the most brilliant police officer, well-spoken. I say, me well-spoken? To be honest with you people, I don't even think I know proper English. When I compare myself with some of the police officers that are currently serving in the JCF, right? They are way more brilliant and way more intelligent than I am. I can't even walk in them shoes. Now, this is what SSP Cameron said, right? We have members of the JCF who are lawyers. We have members with PhDs. We have lawyers at various ranks from constable to deputy commissioner of police. Any policeman in the country today can make the decision to go to law school once he or she has satisfied the prerequisites. I dare Mr. Buchanan to join the JCF because no one with a criminal record can be enlisted in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. No individual, irrespective of your status in life in this country, right? It doesn't matter. You cannot become a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force with a criminal record. I agree with Mr. Cameron. So when you go and make a statement like that, right, you have to check yourself first. Now, obviously, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has young members who enter the Constabulary Force with their 5 CXC or 6 CXC. But I can tell you that there are many of them who have used the opportunity to further themselves. There are so many police officers, right, who after joining the Jamaica Constabulary Force have made themselves qualified. But I want to ask you guys this question. You think a degree can turn somebody into a police officer? You think a degree can make a person decent? Do we have police officers who I would consider not so smart, of course, but I also consider many lawyers not so smart either. My experience in the Jamaica Constabulary Force prosecuting cases and interacting with attorneys sometimes lead me to wonder how some of these persons became attorneys. I'm not trying to belittle people, but I'm just saying in everything, people, you have good and bad, right? And some people, you have to wonder how them become attorneys because them are dunce. And let me just put it raw. I don't think that Mr. Buchanan has any authority, any right to be questioning police officers' education. As a matter of fact, he is out of place and out of order and a very petty little man. He's a very petty little man in my view, right? Because instead of attacking the government and their unconstitutional use of the Emergency Powers Act, right? Challenge that. Do you think that you're better than the men and women that put their lives on the line every single day? As much as people want to cuss out police, and you know, say, me not put up with foolishness. If a police wrong, them wrong, right? And just like how you have criminal police, you have criminal lawyers. I have been involved in cases where we have arrested lawyers there in Jamaica. So I am really surprised that a man who considers himself educated would make a statement like this. Some of the smartest people in this world that I know are police officers. You think it easy to do investigations? Or you think it easy to put a case before the court, especially when you have so much people against you? Jamaicans have this mentality where them don't support the police. Or you think it easy? Let me tell you something, people. Jamaica is one of the toughest places to be a police officer because of men like Mr. Buchanan. And you hear me telling you? I am not saying that he has no right to challenge the Emergency Powers Act. Of course, I do have a problem with how they're using the Emergency Powers Act. But to do it at the expense of the police and belittling the police is very low of the man. A person like Mr. Buchanan, in my perspective, is an embarrassment to the field of law, right? I think that every lawyer that really listens to this man should be embarrassed that he's a part of the fraternity. Anyway, guys, thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. As per usual, guys, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Noble Cop. Until next time, peace out.